as giving the land anyhow, you will not find a proper plannings in that town. And make our towns look like it's not demarcated. Simply because it's just a layer people who come out and begin selling it without any proper plannings on the Juba County. Now, we shall have an issue of we need to place a hospital. To place a hospital becomes difficult because during the plannings there is no hospitals being put in that local demarcation. And also, if you wanted to place a school, you will find some areas that does not have a school. Even you can move around Juba County. All the school is in 2 blocks. There's not enough space for school, simply because the planning has got, it's not been well planned. So, we as an authority and me as a county commissioner, I feel it's good that we need to work together with the Minister of Housing so that we make a proper plannings and tell the people of South Sudan not to be cheated with their money that is always giving the local chiefs, those on the areas, and giving them 100, 200, 300, 1 million without any financial form. And this one's taking us back, and I wanted the media house to help in this awareness, and so that we save our country, we save our nations, we make our people understand how they will acquire lands in Juba County, in Juba City Council. Thank you very much.
Well, Commissioner, I have just one question. Well, of course, this launching it is about to prevent citizens from to be cheated from this issue of land. Well, I want to know exactly for how long this jingle will proceed. I want to know the duration.
The duration of the jingle is not limited to 1 month, to 2 months, to 3 months, but it will continue as long as we sponsor. Maybe 1 year, it will continue until the people of South Sudan understand how they will acquire lands, and this issue of land grabbing is already reduced. Then we shall see maybe it is necessary or not necessary. But basically, the awareness will continue because we cannot stop. There are people who can come to Juba maybe today, tomorrow. We can welcome many people who are coming to Juba, and they need this awareness to continue everywhere. So it will not be limited to 1 day or 3 days or 3 months. It will continue for 1 year maybe.
Okay, sometimes you find some people they own more than piece of land. So as a government, how you will deal with them? Because as one person you will get more than the rest. Maybe someone will not get, but you have a lot.
Well, this is one of the challenges we have here in Juba County, especially when people has made more than 3, and you cannot really develop it. But for us, we are going also to get out with one of the regulations, because after you are allotted the lands, you're supposed to develop it within the period of 1 year or 2 years. If you do not develop it within the period of 1 year or 2 years, if you are following the law, then we shall see who is wanted, who is in need of resident. Then immediately we shall give to him or to her. But there's people who can own more than 10 that who bought. You can buy as much as you can afford in the legal way. But those who are having many, we are going to prevent them and to also stop those ones, because we need to give wants to those who want to reside and they want to have a land and a house.
Yes. Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner, for coming out to speak about this issue of land acquisition. My name is Majur. I work for SABC. I have 3 questions for you. You talk about Juba City and Juba County. I want you to clarify what is the difference between how people acquire land in Juba Council, Juba City Council, and how they acquire land in Juba County. What are the differences here? And also issues to do with cheating. Yes, people have been cheated for a long time, but now, what was the cause of the cheating? Why were people being cheated? 3, how much is it costing for one to acquire land now at Juba County? Like in terms of filling the forms, and you mentioned the 3 categories of land. How much does it maybe cost per each of this category for one to acquire the land? Thank you.
And to add just on to this, what happens to those who have already paid, who have already been cheated by the local chiefs, considering most of the residences around areas of Gibele, Loklili, this side of the Mungaba, most of the residents have paid their money to the chiefs and they are currently residing in the land that were given to them by the chiefs, who are now, as you refer to, are the ones who have been cheating. What happens to them now? Will they have to undergo the process of applying afresh?
Well, thank you very much. The first question is the difference between the Juba City and Juba County. Now, Juba City does not have much land that people can acquire from there, because most of the area become a towns and all that ones. Sometimes in Juba City it's a plot occupation. People occupy people plots, not a land grab. In Juba County there is much land, but the processes of getting that land, we must go through the application, as I stated earlier on. The amounts that will cost, because we have application form here in Juba County. Application form is something of 50 or something of 50,000, and also it will go directly because the owners, the lands that we wanted to get from the locals, they need something. On the process, all it will cost you maybe 200, which is not much money like the ones that your people are giving the local chiefs down outside there, 1 million, 2 million. It's just a little money, something of 200, that if it is much. And this 200, it will go through the financial processes. It's not just you go and pay it under the trees, you can pay it in the office. And when you come back, you will find your claims registered. I think this is the cost of the money. And those who reside in where there was cheated by them, for now, I'm not going to evacuate anybody from there who has resided a long time ago. But the purpose of this awareness not to continue. You are in your place, you remain until the governments come, and don't develop. Simply because if you develop, one day we shall come there, and when we want to make a proper planning, you will be demolished. And when you are demolished, it will be a cost, This money, you have been looking for it for so long, but when you put it in the wrong place, it will be like also you put your money in the wrong pocket. So I'm telling our people, let them be there, wait for the governments. If the place is demarcated, we shall see where we can relocate you, or we can compensate you in other areas that we are working on. Especially in Juba, that area is not that demarcated by them. I talk to the local community to accept, so that we give the people the title deed. The title deed, because I know those are the people of South Sudan, they are cheated by them. But with their being cheated, it is also our concern as the authority to look into their welfare. But on the process also, there are people who does not want that legality of the document, because they benefit on that mess. So we need to work all together with the people of South Sudan so that we stop that one. I understand.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, I'm Daniel Sondeneke, freelance journalist. And my question goes to you. What of those people, like there's a land already, say land grabbers, who grab the people's land and they don't have a land title to it? As you are saying this awareness, what is going to be done to those people who are the victim, whereby their lands were being grabbed, and others, they grab it and have developed it, and the person who grabbed the land doesn't have a title to it? What is going to be the consequence or the measures that will be taken against that person? Thanks.
We have two areas here. The areas that is demarcated and some people has land titles, that will become a matter of legal process. But there is an area whereby empty places does not have any planning. Those people, we shall take the considerations. Like once, I will give an example, place called Haibaraka. It's me by then, I'm a civil engineer by then. I'm the one who went and also make a planning accordingly and make a minimum disruptions to the people. So basically, I'm saying these people who has been cheated and they built, let them not continue. This one is now prevention of not to continue. This is the prevention. But the current ones, which has been stated now in most of the areas, let them wait until we have a very good agreements with the landlords, the people of that community, the indigenous, so that we can come out with a very good application. How can we prevent that one, or how can we give them that land to be permanent? Of course, if they stay there for long, they will be sitting there without any documents. One day, one time, when the other government comes, they will also see that these people does not have right. Because to have a land, you must have a land title deed. This is what we call you have a land. But without a land title deed, you are just sitting, like you're sitting anywhere on the road, and then the planning comes, then you will be swept out. So I think we can consider them, but let them not continue to be cheated anymore. The purposes of this awareness, to let the people not to continue buying from the local chiefs, buying from the criminal gangs, buying from all those, what shall call them, chiefs from the areas. We have chiefs that we appoint here in the Local Government Act, and they are the right people that you can contact them during your applications or your exercise that you want. There's two ways. Either you apply through the government, if the plots, if it is industries that a big lands, you will come through the local government's chief. Then they will bring it up to the county commissioner, then we shall be the one to approve. But they don't have any right to approve the lands to anybody. So this is what I can say about your question.
Yes, my name is Santo. I'm a freelance journalist. There are some talks in town saying the lands that is being allocated by Juba County are actually very, very small. Like you find some plots are just like 15 by 20, others even 15 by 15. And then the fact that in 10, 20 years, if like the country is developing, you find the lands will become so small. Have you really considered such kind of things for the future?
I think the consideration is what we are now sitting here. And I want to tell you that Juba County does not give land 15 by 15 or 20 by 15. Most of it is 20 by 20 and going to 30 by 40, most of the new planning that I'm doing. This new plannings, it will come when people are not residing there. The issue of 15 by 15 or 20 by 15, it's like where people are occupied illegally and they need to be organized. So to organize them, you need to have open spaces, and there's no open spaces. So they land begin to be squeezed to that limit to accommodate all of them. Because if you subtract one of them from there, it will become a problem. So maybe this happened in a place whereby there is a lot of residents, people are already occupied, and there's no space anymore. But otherwise, we, considering the future, how the future tomorrow will be, that is why I'm against repeating, we are coming up with this awareness, so that the lands which I'm going to the market, it is free lands. Nobody's there. You apply, then you will get yours. And when you are given your lands, anywhere you develop it. Some people will say that the issue of security or insecurity outside, but it's a way to be the security for us. For instance, we are given a land this year, Tombora Road. It will be enough, 30 by 40. If you are given there, then you will develop, because this one is outside the city. It's not congested. So when it is congested, it will force us for that 20 by 15 and 15 by 15.
Yes, awareness is one thing, but what about the solution to these criminal gangs? Do you have any strategies in place on how you will handle those who will violate these same rules that you are trying to aware the public about?
Anybody got in exercising such illegally, we are always arresting him or her. We arrest many, and even as I speak, there's people who have been arrested and they're still in the custody, and the law is taking its charges. So basically, those are criminals. and we cannot allow criminality in the county. We shall deal with them accordingly. So those are criminals. Only that when we cut the criminals, they will go to the media houses also then begin to say that the government is beginning to shoot the civilians, the government is beginning to do this. Meanwhile, they are the same criminals and they pretend to be a citizen. A citizen cannot carry a gun, cannot shoot the government, cannot do anything against the government. They will abide by the laws of the government, of the state. But when they go to the media houses, then they begin to complain that commissioner has done this for us, commissioner has shoot us, commissioner, and they are the ones shooting the government. They are the ones violating the constitutions. So we are against everyone who is violating the constitution. This is the constitution, we are protecting the constitution. And I need also all of us as the media houses and the citizens and the authority to protect the constitutions of the Republic of South Sudan.
Honorable Commissioner,
there is a time limit for your forms for one acquiring the land. Like if I come today, apply, and then maybe I did not go and develop my land, do you have right to take it back?
Yeah, of course, we have a right to take it back because the land is given to you and you are in concern, you need to reside. You need to be in that house, in that place. So if you don't develop, there's someone who wanted a place.
What is the time limit?
1 year, 2 years.
okay, Honorable Commissioner, I remember there was a victim which happened last year on Yei Road, that is between POC and Amadi. There were people who were cheated about the land and they were being sold. Until now, others are still asking, was the land demarcated before while when you were still engineer in the office, or it was not? Because others were saying the land was not demarcated. May you clarify to us about the land on that side?
The land on that side, most of the land is demarcated, and even to the extent to give everyone's his plots, the sowing with some plots, now becoming the individual property. The individual property, once you're given your lands, you must develop it. Again, if someone comes, then you begin to complain to the government is not protecting your land, and while we have already given you your property, you have already sold your property, you are supposed to develop it. That area there, most of the area in Amadi is demarcated land. People are owning the land title deeds, they are all on their hand. So there's no place there which is free. But we have another one which is called Wangleri. This is the place where we are working on it. And most of the people applied and they have already allotted that this year, the coming year, we are going to sell them their plots. So those who owned the document, we are going to sell them their plots.
So summary to this launching. So what is your message to the entire people of South Sudan, especially Central Equatoria?
I think the message is clear, and the message is also there in the launches. To get a way how you can get a legal process of acquiring lands from the authority, not to be cheated with the local chiefs, not to involve yourself with those criminal activities which is taking place. Because once you are buying from them, you are supporting them. We don't need to support the criminals. By the time all of us abstains from buying the land from those criminals, they will find it is a useless business now because nobody is standing up. But if we continue supporting them, they will see it's a lucrative business that they will continue also doing their activities. So the message is, let us refrain ourselves from going to buy a land from the local chiefs, from the criminal people outside there. We call them criminals. They don't have a tribe. They don't have anybody can bind themselves together to do those exercises. So those are criminal activities which is happening. And the message is we must refrain ourselves from going and buying from local chiefs or the criminal chiefs.
Okay.